All right, I think that's enough of this strange TV channel. Let's get back to work. Oh, look at this. I'm hoping to see a much larger one of these on the property by the end of the day. Welcome back to Kinlaig. That's gonna be tough for me to say. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Thank you for the comments. We're gonna go check out our fields. We still have the straw to pick up on this. That'll be a priority number 1 today, and getting these fields flipped because it is September. We do want to get some more barley and wheat in the ground and probably flip-flop which ones they're in. We'll do wheat here, barley across the street. But I'm also heading over to check on the canola field because we want to make sure that that is ready, that we don't have any more treatments that we need to do to it. Maybe weeds, maybe fertilizer, but I do want to take a good look here. Yeah, I don't see any weeds. Seems like it's growing good. Looks like it could use a little bit of nitrogen, but other than that, I think that's about all we can do. So a spreader today for lime and fertilizer is going to be a priority. But I think what we want to do is figure out about tillage. If we do no-till or if they normally cultivate. Because we could get started on this field doing that while we're picking up the straw. Either way, I think let's get Bobby started on the straw. And that'll be a good start and get a little bit more cash coming in. And at that point, we probably... Let's go check on the sheep. Well, we got a little bit of wool over here. Taking a look, the feed looks absolutely fine. Looks like they didn't go through much overnight, so the sheep are good. They don't need anything tended to them, and we do have a little bit of hay left over here that we could feed them if we need to, so let's actually go look at that grass field before we get started today. We should see some, yep, we see some work going. The straw's starting to get picked up by Bobby. Perfect. Oh yeah, this field actually looks pretty darn good. Ready to be cut. I mean, as good as we're gonna get it. Maybe a little bit more yield than we are getting, but most of this is silty clay, as we talked about. I think we come about over here. Yeah, you can see the yield does drop down to about 84%. So we might get this cut today. We potentially might fill up the silage pits and make some silage out of this and potentially figure out other ways to make hay, or maybe that hay is gonna last. Well, it's definitely gonna be our only cut of the year of grass, so I just don't think we have any equipment for hay, and I was wanting to hold off on that. But also I'm being silly because the sheep need grass. So I think we do need to cut this. I think what we'll do is we'll get the straw done. Bobby is working on that, so we'll get the straw done, get that forage wagon freed up. But in the meantime, we could probably get cutting the grass. Yeah, doing a good job. So they're just gonna... We'll see how much money it brings in today. It's a little bit smaller of a field, so it's not gonna be as much as we made yesterday, but that's all right. So let's go ahead and get into the New Holland, and we'll get that set up to start cutting. But I'm gonna also... Might have Cameron do that for us today. And I'm going to start looking for good opportunities for a spreader because we're going to need that ASAP. And this could be some busy work that's just going on while we figure that out. So I'm going to get that going. I'll regroup with you. Oh, look at these decorations. Festive family. I love it. Okay, Cameron's getting started on that. We need to start digging in to whether or not we can afford a spreader and if we need to lease one or buy one for the family. We're going to regularly use it, so it would make sense to get one purchased, but with these size of fields, might not have to break the bank to do so. And taking a look at the catalog, something like this is definitely what we would need around this farm, but I don't believe we're going to be able to afford it this year, so let's go ahead and lease it. It's going to be $3,500, and then every extra hour we use, it's going to be about $1,500. So that's going to be sitting there waiting for us at the dealership. Nice little system they have in town. Until we're ready for that, we got to get one of the tractors freed up, but our dollar amount did go up a little bit, so they should be on their way. Bobby should be back already for a second run. Yep. So making some good progress on the straw. And making good progress cutting the grass, but we know we need the forage wagon freed up to finish the grass job, and we need the New Holland freed up to get us going on the spreading of lime. We're tapping in to the cab camera of the JCB, taking a look at Bobby sending it over to the store to make a little bit of cash. Looks like today's bringing in just under $1,900. All of it is needed. Well, Cameron did have some running around to do this morning, so he helped out for a little bit. I am in the JCB now doing the work that Bobby was doing, and he is over finishing cutting the grass. We've got another load getting sold here. We're up to 36,000. We need to figure out how to get 50 pretty quickly, so we might see a little tiny bit of a loan that we're going to give them, because I think it's in the farm's best interest to get a flower production going. And I have found blueprints of a building that has the ability to produce flour, and it should also have the ability to produce oil for us. So we would only need one facility for the two outstanding factories that we need. So if we have to give a little bit of a loan, the way we're going to do this here, because it's in all of our best interests, we're going to make more money if they make more money. We're going to take 10% at the end of the year of the profits. No, I didn't explain that well. What we're going to do at the end of the year is their balance. So we're going to take the 13,000 that they had originally, and whatever's in their balance at the end of the year, we're going to take 10%. We're going to do that every quarter moving forward. And that's the way we make money on this farm rescue. So like I said, it's in our best interest to get them making as much as possible, as quick as possible. So the way the loan will work, it will be interest only, and we'll just have them pay us back as we go, and we'll get our money back. We're not looking to make a profit on the loan. We're just looking to be able to make that extra money for them and for us to get that 10% increased as quick as possible. So I'm gonna get busy here, finish picking up this straw, and then I'm probably gonna instantly turn around and get the grass picked up as well and put in the silage bunker. Though we do need to figure out how to do bales eventually for the sheep. So we got some decisions to make. Let me get my head down, finish doing this straw session, and we're gonna go from there. Lots of decisions to be made. Had a nice conversation with Cameron, and we're gonna go a little aggressive. What we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna head to the store, and we are going to sell the forage wagon. That's gonna be one of the first things we're gonna do. We're gonna see how much money we can get from that, and we're gonna look into getting a rake and a baler. So we do need that long term. Making some grass bales so we can keep them around is gonna be pretty important. And I think if we can pull this off, we're gonna try to limit the loan, but well, we're going to try to limit the loan to just the factory, but we might need a little bit more cash unless we can get a pretty good deal on a rake and a baler. We'll see how much money we have when we sell this wagon. We'll see how much they're going to give us and make some decisions from there. This thing is in pretty good shape. We're going to see what kind of a deal they're going to give us today. Well, it was $25,000. So that got us our balance up to 67. We got our lease spreader, but let's look at a rake first. I mean, this is just the best for the money I think that we're going to be able to do. So let's go ahead and buy it. 19,500 leaves our balance at 48,000. And I think we'll go instantly start raking up the grass. And we're going to take a look at the used market, see if we can find a baler. But I have a feeling we're gonna have to dip into a potential loan here to get the baler and the factory built today. We could sell a little bit of the grass. We do need a bale trailer as well. We got some forks, you know, on here, handy dandy forks to take care of. Oh, but we also have some rain. Oh man. But we got forks to be able to pick up the bales, and we're gonna, we need to get that raked as soon as possible. Hopefully this is a quick rainstorm. Pretty good timing here. Bobby has finished cutting, and he's jumped in the JCB to start rowing. I don't know, what is he doing in the trees over there? But he's going to start getting these into nice rows for us. And we are going to head in and take a look at balers. You know, other things we need to think about expense-wise is going to be lime and fertilizer. We do have some seed. I'm not sure if we have enough seed to plant both fields, but will definitely be a good start. So we're gonna keep in mind we need to keep some cash, but we're definitely gonna be taking out that loan today. And we got the blessing from Cameron on that. He's definitely falling into the category I like to call as the let us do what we want category. and he's believing in us. So a good friend of his dad's is who ran into us in the U.S. So that's where the connection's going, and he trusts him. As the friend trusts us, Cameron's going to trust us as well. So he's in good hands. So I have a feeling this is going to go real smooth, and we're going to make a ton of money for him. But it's going to be a lot of hard work. Luckily, this rain isn't coming down too heavy. I am going to park here and head on into the store and see if they have anything used that we can purchase for baling. So did some digging here. We're gonna have to do a $150,000 loan. Just got it deposited in their account, so we'll work on getting that paid off when we get a chance to. So won't be bad. Whoa, right in my face is what we did buy, the claws. It's like the 520 RC here, and then we do have this bale trailer here to pick up the bales. So we'll be able to. We don't have to use the forks for that, so that'll be real nice. So let's get back into New Holland. I definitely want to get this grass going, and we do have $95,000 in the account still, so $50,000 of that's going to go towards our flour production / oil production. Made a call into a construction company in town that can get that delivered today and built, so that is exciting. So I'm hoping around lunchtime we'll be able to start putting some wheat and barley into that production and get it up and running, because that's going to definitely speed up the income for the family here. But baling will be first, and then we will get the bale trailer out to move some bales around. And hoping until spring, that's all the money we really have to spend outside of lime, fertilizer, and seed. Though we might need some way to treat weeds as well. It's definitely not the most ideal conditions for baling some grass, but we'll get it done. We'll get it taken care of here. And I think this rainstorm's actually gonna disappear in about 30 minutes anyways, so we should be good to go and just keep on rolling here. Well, I am pleasantly surprised with the amount of bales we got here. That is number 38, and I don't think we'll get a full bale, but I'll cruise around here a little bit and pick up some of these missed spots. We'll get that trailer over here next, get these out of the way. We've got 3 fields to put lime down on, which we want to get done today because we have that spreader leased, and we have 2 fields that we're gonna have to put fertilizer on. So a decent amount of goods we're gonna have to buy, but again, it's all part of the process, and the yield's gonna be so much better next time around the way we're gonna be treating these fields. Let's go ahead and find a good home for the baler, and we're gonna run out of storage real quick, but I think we'll make it work. We're starting to do lime on the fields. We're starting out the same one we started the harvest with. We'll work our way back to the farm. It's not very far, but you know. So right now we're applying 2.63 tons per hectare. So this shouldn't take too much of our lime, and we bought 10,000 so far. I'm assuming we are gonna have to buy a good amount more. Kind of regretting the type of trailer we bought, since we can't also use that to move pallets around. Some mistakes were made. I'm not sure if we're gonna correct that or not. We will see moving forward. We do have a little bit of cash, so $50,000 is what we need to get the production up and running, and that should be here momentarily. But I'm gonna get focused on getting this lime put down so we can keep making progress. I definitely feel like the day is getting away from me here. We are starting to do fertilizer on the canola field, and this should really help the yield. I think it'll give us about a 25% increase in yield here. We bought 3,000 liters of fertilizer. You can see the balance is down to 84,000 because we did have to buy a decent amount of lime to get all the fields done. We did get that done. The field in front of us, the field to our right, and the grass field have had lime spread on them. And now we're just doing this canola field, and we need to get to the grass field as well and get some fertilizer put down. I mean, it might be best to do all 4 fields, but we don't know which crop type we're going to do yet, and it would determine the amount of fertilizer would be based off of that. So we're using a decent amount here, 407 kilograms per hectare. Might not have bought enough, but that's all right. We could head to the store, get a little bit more if we need to. I'm going to finish this little fertilizing session, and like I said, the day's getting away from us. We got to get at least one of these fields planted before the day's over. Well, the precision farming data confuses me here. We did apply a little bit too much fertilizer to the grass field. I think that would have been better if we did it tomorrow. Not sure why, but the game doesn't recognize it's grass until the day after it's cut. And you can see there we do have something to take care of before planting the field. There is our production we're talking about in that bigger windmill I was teasing at the beginning of the episode. Let's go ahead and get some barley in here first. We need to figure out exactly how much this is going to need because we don't want to burn through. Well, maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we just want to put it all in. Let's go ahead and get this thing configured. So you can see we could do all kinds of stuff. We can do sugar, we can do oil, we can do flour in this. We are going to get barley flour activated here. And just kind of looking at how this thing produces, there is no way we're going to be able to produce enough grain to keep it fed all year. Not with these fields. So long term, we might look into expanding, but we're absolutely going to put all the barley and wheat into this factory right now and get it up and running. And I have a feeling between now and January, we're probably gonna have a ton of flour to sell. And we have the wheat to sell here, or not to sell, we're dropping off the wheat. Now we're gonna get that going as well in our new factory. Wheat flour is activated. And we're getting prepped here. We're gonna try to get this first field planted today. Gonna hook up to the cultivator. And I am gonna run the cultivator over the field right behind us. We're gonna start with field 20 today, which is the only one we're gonna be able to have time to get to, and I missed my turn. And then Bobby's gonna get in the New Holland and start planting behind me, but then he's got to go. So once we can't go that way either. Once I get done cultivated, I'll take over the planting from Bobby, but he'll give us, a good head start so we can get this planting done today on this field. See, we already have the seeder out here and waiting for us. What I want to do is start right here and see how this JCB handles, because I am almost recommending that we look into a different, smaller tractor to replace the JCB. There's 130 horsepower, and I think we just are struggling with it. And there was a problem with the trailer that we're having that I was going to show you guys, but I didn't get it on film. So next time it happens, I'll show it, but it's just hard to turn it. It's stuck. So we've really got to get focused here. I am going to get the headlands done, and then Bobby's going to get started just so we have less of a chance to run into each other. A slight change of plans. We're going to go ahead and do the planting while Bobby finishes the cultivating. I think that'll make a lot more sense, but what exactly is the point of doing that, Bobby? That's a interesting approach. But we're going to get busy here, get some wheat in the ground. And then in October, we'll definitely get barley in the field back there. Have to get fertilizer put on both of them and treat the weeds. But at that point, that might be the last thing we have to actually worry about until spring, when we've got to figure out how we're going to get some soybeans planted. So what we're going to do is we are going to do this all off camera, and we're going to rejoin you in October as we get fertilizer on these fields and get some barley in the other field and so on. Thanks for hanging out on Farm Rescue. I'm SoxWayUp. I will catch you on the next episode.